Jesus Christ. What the fuck is going on?
The Cresson Sanatorium, most notably known for its use as a tuberculosis ward, as it saw over 40,000 patients in its 51 years of operation, from 1913 to 1964. It is because of this alone that one has to wonder how many deaths were on these grounds from that time as well.
Bodies were stacked to the ceiling over there. I mean, it was just a constant revolving ambulances, horse and buggy just taking bodies out of there constantly.
Due to advances in medicine in the 1960s, the SAN was then converted into a state hospital to care for the mentally challenged. Then, in the 1980s, another sudden change on the grounds occurred. 1987 was the year that SCI Cresson officially opened its doors to male inmates as a medium-security correctional facility. It was then closed down in 2013 due to rising costs of operation. Since 2019, Hydroponic Life is now using the grounds to produce hemp and develop sustainable energy products, though they still allowed for paid ghost investigations, which is how we managed to get access to the place. And just as we arrived, we found someone with much more experience on the grounds than we have.
My name's John Lansdorfer. They actually call me Scoob. My nickname's Scoob. I've been called that all my life, since my first grade teacher actually called me that. So that's what I was known of as up here also. I was a CO1, corrections officer. Well, I can tell you a story about a guy I personally worked with here. We were working in a building, which is our commissary building. Anyhow, I came into here, and we'd all meet outside the gate with this construction crew, and I go through the tools and everything. And Brian was still here just getting off the night shift, and he's freaking. And as he's walking off, I was like, dude, I gotta find out what the hell happened to him. Something crazy happened. This guy knew him as a humble, straight shooting guy. And this is what he told me. We'd always give him a radio, a black radio. They were always here. You could listen to music to while you're working. He said, I was up on the ladder. He said, the music stopped. So I just looked down. I'm right there. He said, it's literally right here beside me on the table. But he said, I get out the hallway, and I said, Jeff, did you just mess with my radio? But he said, no, dude. He said, whatever, that was weird. So whatever, he goes back up, plugs it. He said, I plugged it back in, went back to work. He said, it literally was probably like an hour later. It took a little bit, he said, but it does it again. So when he stepped down off that ladder, he said, I can't describe to you the feeling that came over me. He said, it literally like surrounded me in a wall of the most spooky, scariest death thing I've ever felt. He said, it took everything I could to break through this. And he said, I broke through it and I just started running. He said, the only thing I could do was think, run, get out of this. I'm not staying nowhere near this, in this building or nothing.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Spirits with Spirits. We're here in a fucking tunnel.
Not just any tunnel, Joe. We're in a jail tunnel.
After meeting up with the other paranormal investigators that were also on this hunt with us, we broke up into groups, and you know the Spirits team always sticks together, baby. So myself, Steven, and Kara headed to Building 5. Our plan was to rotate from building to building in correspondence with the other parties, communicating via state-of-the-art radio transmission and receiving systems. We also knew that Building 5 was one of the 3 entrances to the underground tunnels on the property. So as the sun was setting, we used this opportunity to start our investigation a bit early.
Okay.
All right.
So we're in the secret tunnel. We are between buildings 5 and 3. So we are halfway between the building that we were given for home base and the chapel right now.
Yep.
It's very wet.
We're underground, it's drippy, it's sippy, and let's get some clippies.
I hate that I loved that.
All right, so what we're doing down here test-wise is I have an EMF detector. There is the REM pod there. And then we have night vision on Steven. And we have, what are we doing? Spirit box. We're doing spirit box down
Bring
here.
that?
No.
Well, then we're bringing out Suzanne.
Okay, we're bringing out Suzanne. How did I forget the spirit box?
For those at home, I got this sick little bag on Shein for like $2. And it perfectly conveniently holds a 1998 Furby Classic named Suzanne. If there's anyone down here in the secret tunnel, can you please come near this shining red hockey puck? Anywhere near it. Or you can pet my little furry creature. It's very friendly.
Did you have tuberculosis? Was there iron lungs in this place?
I don't know if that existed yet.
Did you come here to get fresh air and died?
Story of a life. Were you an inmate here? Or an inmate with tuberculosis? We can mix the clients.
Man, that's rough.
That'd be so rough. Did you live here? I think we should just leave her down here for the episode.
Yeah, I think this is Suzanne's spot. We just can't forget her.
I will never forget her. What else would I put in this? Nothing except the 98 Furby fits in this.
True. Okay, so no response on the REM pod, which is okay. Didn't really feel much from down in these tunnels, if I'm being honest. They're just kind of creepy looking. So next we're gonna go head to the chapel and see if we can get some spirit box and some REM pod action, and also maybe some EVP stuff. So,
Yeah. Onward.
Onward. Okay, so we are now in the chapel area, and this place at first gave me some creepy vibes, not really feeling it right now, but we are going to do some spirit box session. So here goes nothing. Is there anybody that had tuberculosis here?
Yes?
I think it said yes, sir.
Yes? 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 I like a ghoul with manners.
Okay. Were you here when the jail was active? Is there anybody that would like to come forward and communicate in any way through this spirit box?
Now I know it was meaningless verbiage that came through, but I thought it said God, and it made me chuckle because we're in the chapel, and God's trying to speak to us.
Though we got no response to this last question, is Sully there? It was one we would ask again and again throughout the night. To know why, let's rewind a little bit. Earlier in the day, while interviewing Scoob, the light suddenly went out, which was more than likely just due to the battery being drained, but it prompted Scoob to say this.
That's Sully right there. So Sully haunts this thing.
Now, we at the time had no clue of who this person was or why they would want to ruin our interview, so we decided to dig a little bit more into the subject.
The Sully was a character, man. I love Sully to death. He was a good guy. He was another one of these straight shooter guys. But he said, I will die here and I will haunt this place for the rest of my life, for the rest of my whatever. I'll haunt. What do you say? I'll haunt it forever. As long as this place is here, I'll haunt it. And one day I walked in here, I couldn't believe it, and they said, did you hear? And I'm like, what? And they were like, Sully died. I'm like, what? They were like, here. I was like, what, here? They were like, on. So we come into gatehouse, and where he walked down to the gatehouse to go where his job was, right behind where we're at right now, he was on the sidewalk, fell over dead. Now, I don't remember what it was to this day, if it was a heart attack or a brain aneurysm or what, but he fell over dead on the sidewalk, and dude, exactly what he predicted he would do, he did. Died here and then started to haunt the place. And I've never personally had experiences, but there's so many stories of, oh my gosh, and that's why I said go to the education, because you guys are talking where to go, because he's known to do all kinds of crazy stuff down there.
With this in mind, we continued our investigation of the chapel. However, despite our best efforts, former tuberculosis patients were in the house. We found no substantial evidence to speak of. We then switched things up and decided to go straight to the most active building on the property, the medical building. If anybody is here, come towards that red light and make the sound go off. Let us know you're here.
All you have to do is approach it. Ooh. Imagine they float. Can you just float near that device? I don't like that there was a child's voice just kind of thrown in there. I guess children could have been here. It was a TV ward.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're both pretty much out of prison wine. We cleared the medical building, or at least one of the many.
Yep, building I.
Building I.
Cleared it out. There's nothing here that we could see.
We cleared the chapel of threats.
Yep.
I think it's time to move on to the cell blocks.
Yeah, we're going to a cell block where they actually held prisoners. And if we lock ourselves in one of those cells, we won't get out for 10 hours. So let's hope that no ghosts lock us in there. That would suck.
I would accept it.
Yeah.
If you get it on film,
I
I
would
walk in and
because
patronize
I
a
would
ghost
be-
and it slams the door.
I would be contemplating it for the next 10 hours anyways, so it wouldn't matter.
All right, onward to deeper dangers.
Onward and upward.
Onward and upward. Okay, guys, we made it. This is the creme de la creme, at least for me.
Yep.
We are in the cell blocks of the penitentiary. We have a couple little things going on here. We have the REM pod. We have the mag lights. And I brought bait.
Yep. Cigars and cards.
Oh, not that. We got tobacco. We got cards. But we also got a Slender James.
Why does beef jerky always show up in our episodes? Got any nines? Got fish.
My light, Joe's light.
Got any ones?
If you messed with that light over there on purpose, can you do it again to confirm that you're here?
Turn that light off completely.
Just kill the light.
Can you come up and like fight me or something? Like, do something. Don't be such a fucking little bitch.
Jump us, you little asshole.
Yeah. Tuberculosis.
Chlamydia.
Gonorrhea.
Syphilis.
I was going there next.
Checkmate.
Did you just whisper AIDS from behind the camera?
Not so tough without your body, are you?
You gonna walk around or anything? Make some noise?
Slam a door. We got cards, we got dancing.
Come here.
We're a couple of wild and crazy guys.
Come here.
You gonna come on over? I'm stumped.
We tried our best here. And I don't really think
Was that our best or our worst?
that was last resort.
Good to
and-
show them our ugly side.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, we have gotten nothing at any of the locations we've been at so far.
Couple knocks, couple
A couple of things.
inconclusive things that weren't responding to stimuli, just kind of.
Yeah, I think
And it's a
they-
big
It
campus.
could have been anything. It could have been mice in the walls. It could
I
have
think
been
the
anything.
architecture alone rotting is the haunting of this place.
Yeah, it's really cool aesthetically, and if I had a photo shoot booked up here, it'd be really cool. But
Oh my God, yes.
ghost hunting, maybe not so much. Not tonight, at least.
We still got a couple more places to hit, but
Yeah.
so far I'm not getting my hopes up. My jollies aren't.
Nope.
my jollies aren't rocking.
We pulled literally all the cards out.
Pretty much.
Yep. After rummaging around the cell blocks a little more, we still got no evidence to speak of.
Oh my God, that's a kestrel.
We then investigated numerous other buildings on the grounds, but essentially got the same results everywhere. That wasn't until we got to the gymnasium and found 3 oddly placed hex bags on some workout equipment. Knowing exactly what these were, I instructed Steven and Kara not to touch them. Shortly after we returned to home base with the other investigators, we decided one last-ditch effort was in order to try to make contact with Sully as a group. And by conducting a spirit box session right next to where Sully was found dead, we hoped to find some sort of definitive contact to end the night.
Your friend Scoob was here. He was telling us all about you. Remember Scoob? Lansendorfer?
You said you were a talker. Now's the time to share that gift of gab. Can you say, Sullivan?
Sully, last chance, son of a bitch.
You're lame, bro.
You won't do it, pussy.
Anyone? Touch that dog!
Is Sully even a real person? We don't know.
While the Cresson Sanatorium didn't give us much in terms of evidence, both its history and its architecture set the tone for one of our creepiest investigations to date. All in all, we can't discredit this location as not being haunted just because we didn't personally find anything here. And for that, we deem this location not haunted, I guess.
That's toilet wine, baby. That's toilet wine. Waited all episode to find it. Cheers.